Are you an up-and-coming photographer and you're thinking about selling your images, but you're really not quite sure how to go about it, or how to even print them, or even know what to charge? If you're thinking like that, and if that's you, well then this video's for you, because today I'm going to give you a few hints on how you can sell your images. Hello, my name's Glenn Samuel and you're watching Sniper Photography. Let's get started. Welcome back, guys. Look, recently I was asked a question by an up-and-coming lady photographer who, quite frankly, is gaining leaps and bounds with her career as a photographer. And I often get asked questions, I get asked questions all the time from people inquiring about how to take better shots or what gear to buy. But there's also a question I do get asked, and that is, how do I sell my images? How do I promote the images? How do I print them? And how much do I charge? Well, it's an open-ended question really, but when this lady photographer, who happens to she did attend one of my workshops recently, and her photography is very, very good, and it's getting better each time she picks up a camera. But she's got a bit of a dilemma. She's been asked to photograph an event or certain things, and the people are prepared to pay her for her services and for her images, but she's not quite sure how to charge for her work or her images, or even how to print them. So the answer I gave her, and the answers I give most people when they ask that question, is, first up, what size do the people want to buy from you? Now, when I ask that question back to somebody who says, I want to buy a picture of my car you've taken on the weekend, I say, what size? And they say to me, well, what's the most common size and how much are they? Well, today I'm going to start on one size, 11 inch by 14 inch. Now, I'm an old guy and I'm still working in inches. So let's say 11 inch by 14 inch. Now, this is the answer I gave this lady photographer. Okay, let's start with 11 inch by 14 inch. Now, let's say it costs you $15 to print. Okay, $15 to print. I'll get back to the printing and where you should go a little bit later on. $15 to print 11 by 14 inch print. 11 inch by 14 inch print, $15. Then you've got to package it. You've got to protect the image. Now, you can either put it in a cylinder that you get from Australian Post or an Officeworks outlet, or you can lay them flat in between cardboard and bubble wrap them. So let's say roughly $5 for packaging. Now, these are just rough figures, but this is an example. So $5 for packaging. Now comes the hard part and the most expensive part, and that's freight or postage, or getting that image to that prospective buyer that wants to buy your photograph. Well, rough figure, let's say $15. So what we have here is $15 for the print, $5 for packaging, so there's $20. Then we've got $15 for postage or freight component. So automatically it's cost you as a photographer, not your time or your skill, but it's cost you $35 to produce that print, pack it securely and post it or freight it to the buyer. So you're looking at $35. Now, as in all forms of business, you've got to know your costs. Now, it's no use quoting a price to somebody if you don't know what your costs are. You need to know what your costs are. So if it's cost this lady photographer $35 to sell that print to somebody, what sort of margin does she need to be at to make a profit? Because at the end of the day, if you're starting to sell images, you're going into a business venture or a business area, so you need to make a profit. It's as simple as that. So at $35, my recommendation is to work on anywhere between a 20% margin and a 50% margin added on to that $35. So roughly, it's cost her $35. I'm looking at around about $60 to sell that print, because you've got to cover your costs and you'll have to make a profit, and that's what it's all about. Where do you get these images printed? Well, basically there's a few areas you can go. There's the big box outlets that sell all office stuff and office equipment. They also do photo printing. Or there's that other furniture crowd out there who also offer image printing. That's fine if you want to do that, but you don't have much control over your printing process when you hand your image to those particular outlets. My suggestion to you is to find a local printer that's owned by the person that's going to serve you. That way you've got more control over your printing, because at the end of the day you don't want a great image to be spoilt by bad printing. It's not the way to do it. So find a good printer in your local area, get to know these people, and they will help you print the print that you want. Or if you feel like you can go to one of these big box outlets out there, by all means do so. I'm not putting them down in any way, but I prefer to leave those big box outlets to the mobile phone people that plug their mobile phones in and print out 3,000 photographs. Just leave it for them. But as a proper photographer, I tend to go to a proper printing place where you get to know the printer is in my local area, and you can work with them, and you can also get a better price. So that was my answer I gave to this lady photographer. So basically you need to know what your costs are, then put your margin on top as to how much money you want to earn by selling your images. Because if you're starting to get a lot of people asking you, do you sell your images and how can I buy them and what's the best size, you've automatically gone to another level of your photography career. And that's fantastic. That's if you want to go there, of course. So keep that in mind. If you're going to sell your images, you need to know your costs and how much margin you're prepared to work with. And also, is that customer prepared to pay for your work? Because if you're producing quality images, you need a quality print. Once you've got those two factors together and they work, then you can ask for a quality price. Because I always say in business, you can buy cheap quality, but you can't buy quality cheap. So that's it, another episode here at Sniper Photography. My name's Glenn Samuel. If you've got any questions about that, please put them in the box below and I'll endeavour to get back to you shortly. So as I always say, be nice to yourself, family and friends, but most of all, keep smiling, have fun and keep shooting. Bye for now.